And maybe we'll just get started. People can kind of jump on as they come.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so welcome everybody. This obviously, if you don't know me, my name is Michelle, and Megan and I have kind of teamed up for doing these challenge group calls once a week, just to kind of give you guys a place to sort of ask us questions, and we can kind of give you information. It's just sort of a little bit more personal than the back and forth messaging through either PMs through Facebook or even through the challenge app. So this gives us a way we can share different things with you guys that we weren't doing before. So it's been kind of fun for us to sort of get information to you a little bit easier, if for the people that are brave enough to come on these calls. I know I know everyone sometimes is really nervous about these calls. Hey Marianne.
Hi.
We can see you.
Yay. And I think it's good too.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
so turn down the hockey game.
Sorry, Megan, were you saying something?
I was just gonna say, I think it's kind of nice because you and I have totally different stories and completely different experience with challenge groups and the programs and the reason why we started and that sort of thing. So it's almost nice just in case people my story, maybe they're going to relate to your story, so we can kind of share different insights on every topic, and I think that's helpful for all the challengers too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Megan's so right. We have completely different situations. I actually, to be honest, never ever did a challenge group without being a coach. Like any challenge group I've been in as a coach. I used Beachbody products on my own, and that's my personality. I bought Beachbody programs for about probably almost 16 years before I ever even really knew that there was a coaching opportunity available. So I think I'm just going to mute everybody, and it's not me rude. It's just because I have like adult AD, whatever that is, and I get really flustered when there's background noise. So I'm going to mute everybody, but if you have a question, just jump on. This is not me talking at you. Please jump on if you have anything that you want to ask, or you can use the chat box. It's right on the bottom if you scroll down. Okay, so I am going to start tonight, and I will share my story a little bit. I think most of you have probably seen it. I'm sure most of you follow me on social media, but I'll share a quick version. I used to weigh, the last time I checked the scale, and I know I got heavier than that, unfortunately, but the last number I saw on the scale was 213 pounds. And that was I would say about 16 years ago. And as I just mentioned, one night, probably sitting on my couch eating cheesies, I saw an infomercial for Slim & Six, and I have no idea whatever possessed me to order it. At that time, you had to call. Like, we didn't even have, I wouldn't have had a computer at the time. So I called and ordered it, and by some freak miracle, I actually did the workouts, and I continued to do them through the entire 90 days. This was a crazy long program, and the workouts were all about an hour long. I don't know if any of you have checked out Slim & Six, but I invite you to do that. Now, if you have the all access, go check out those workouts and see how I tortured myself. Like, I go back and look at them now, and they're just crazy that I ever did them. But anyways, I did. Unfortunately, what I didn't do was the nutrition plan. I don't think that they had Shakeology at that time. Actually, I know they didn't, because Shakeology is only about 7 or 8 years old. So there was no Shakeology, but I, in Michelle fashion, just took that nutrition guide and threw it to the back of the closet and thought, all I need to do is exercise and all my dreams will come true, right? I'll look like Debbie Siebers or whatever her name was. Well, that did not happen. But I did lose a little bit of weight. So I probably lost maybe 10 pounds. And my weight loss journey really kind of went like that. It was about 10 pounds a year, 10, 15 pounds a year, a lot of yo-yo dieting, a lot of quick fix, hopeful quick fixes, pills, wraps, whatever, you name it, I did it. But I managed to kind of take off a little bit of weight each year. So I got to about 3 years ago, and I was down to maybe still needing to lose about 20 pounds. And I came across this ad on Facebook. And it turns out that that's my coach now, Amy. And for some reason, that ad just kind of stopped me in my tracks. I don't even know what it said, but she introduced me to the 21 Day Fix program. I actually signed up as a coach at the same time because I had obviously used all of Beachbody products. I completely believed in them. By that time, I had tried Shakeology. I didn't love it my first time, but I kind of dabbled in it back and forth. So I would use it and then go off of it and then use it and go off of it. But when I connected with her, I decided to really commit to it. And I really had a desire to help other women because I had already had this big transformation. I was already probably about 70 pounds lighter, still wanting to lose more. I really had a desire to get really, really toned and almost like bikini competition worthy. At that time, I don't now, but at that moment I did. And with her help, I actually got there, and I did the 21 Day Fix nutrition, and I used the Body Beast program for my workouts. And I was pretty close to doing a bikini competition. And then I got just totally into coaching, completely changed my life. I'm now a retired hairdresser. I had a salon for 25 years. I still own it, but do not work there. In fact, I have not been there since Christmas Eve, which is horrible. But my husband manages it now. So I'm a retired hairdresser, totally love coaching. It's completely changed my life, my family's life. It's insane. It's crazy. But that's kind of my story with Beachbody. It started a long, long time ago, and it's been a really long, incredible journey. So there's lots of potential. I said this in a post today that this is day one for a lot of my challengers, and you guys too, if you're in Megan's group, and you just never know where this day one might take you. It's really quite incredible where a journey like this, what it can do for your life. So I kind of want to just briefly go over Beachbody On Demand, because most of you have, I would imagine, the all access package, I would imagine. If not, you have 30 days free of Beachbody On Demand. So I really want to make sure that you're comfortable with that that website, so you know where to find things. And then I want to take you to my absolute favorite place to look for healthy 21 Day Fix recipes. So I am going to share my screen with you guys and just take you on a quick little tour of Beachbody On Demand, and then I'm going to take you to another site to show you my favorite recipe, Stomp and Ground. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Bear with me. Oops. Oops. Good Lord. What's all this stuff? Okay. Alrighty. Can you guys see that? Yep. Okay, perfect. So this should be sort of when you log into Beachbody On Demand, this is kind of what you're going to see. And of course, you've got your programs. If you've got the all access membership, you just like have access to everything. And that's pretty cool because there's like thousands of workouts. I think there's over 2,000. But what I think is even cooler is you're going to have access to every single thing that Beachbody comes out with this whole year. So the year membership, whenever your year started, you're going to have access to everything that they come out with. So on, I think they said April 19th, we're all going to have a sneak peek of the brand new program that's going to launch in May, which is called UV2. Now, I don't know that this is going to be the program for everyone, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun to try. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to do with our kids. It's just going to be something extra that might be and I think we should all try it when we can for the sneak peek. And then in July, all of us that are coaches will head to Summit, which is in New Orleans in July. And that's where they're going to launch the next big program. And it is called Shift Shop. And it looks amazing. We actually were lucky enough to have a team call with Chris Downing, yeah, who's the trainer for this program, and it sounds like it's awesome. So if you have the all access package, it's just going to show up right here, and you're going to be able to start that program on day one. You're not going to have to wait for DVDs. You're not going to have to pay any extra money for it. You're just going to have access to it. So you can literally click into your member library and all of these programs are going to show up. So let's just go into 21 Day Fix Extreme here. Sorry, because I'm sharing my screen, it sometimes takes a little bit to load up here, but I just want to make sure you guys see. So down the left-hand side, all your workouts obviously are there, but down the right-hand side here is all the information. So maybe you ordered your package late and you're in our challenge groups. You still have all your information. So you've got the workout calendar, you've got the eating plan, you've got tally sheets that you can print off. You can even do everything in a different language if you want. So everything is here for you. There's no excuses why you can't figure out your containers, figure out meal plans, figure out the foods. Everything is there for you on Beachbody On Demand. Yes, I get it. Your containers haven't arrived yet and Shakeology is not here yet, but you know what? That's okay. If you need the container sort of equals, just message Megan or I or your coach and we'll be able to help you with that. But there's absolutely no reason why you can't get started. And that's the beauty of Beachbody On Demand. You literally order it and you've got it. So one of the other really awesome things, and what I know Megan and I love about this, is we want you to know that we're your support forever. You know, the 21 Day Fix has a real catchy title. You know, you think 21 days. Well, we think way beyond that. We want to help you like in 6 months. We want to help you in 121 days. We want to help you get to your goal and stick to your goal. That is our purpose. You know, we do not believe in quick fixes. We believe in lifestyle changes. And we love this concept of this all access pass because we can continue to work with you forever. You are welcome in our groups forever because we want to keep supporting you. And what I love about this is the 21 Day Fix is going to get boring. You're going to get stronger. You're going to need something more challenging. And then once that happens, we together can figure out your next step, your next program that's going to keep you excited. That's something that happened to me for 16 years. Every time I got a little bit bored or I got stronger, it was time to start something new. And I had to order a new program, right? I had to order something new and purchase something new. With this, you literally just have to look through the programs and talk to your coach and decide on something new. So one quick thing I want to show you that I love about Beachbody On Demand is the Fix8. Sorry, guys, this just takes so long. The Fix8 cooking show, which is really awesome. It's Autumn and her brother, who is a chef. Sometimes that stuff just does not come up. Who's a chef. So they've done this cooking show that's live. I think once a month, maybe they come out with new recipes. Not really sure. Sorry, guys, this is taking forever to load up. But what I really like about it is her sort of hidden information. And I want to make sure you guys see this because it's a really great tool to look through, especially in your first week. So of course there's going to be like new this week and all her recipes. Those are great. Watch them. If you're a real sort of adventurous cook, you're going to love these. I would never make any of this stuff because it's way beyond what I need. I'm like the most boring, lazy cook in the world. So I haven't made any of her recipes, to be honest. But what I do look at is her foundational videos. And I think they're so important for you guys to take a look at, especially as you get started. The pantry raid is so informative. I learned so much. And her meal prepping videos are awesome. They'll really help you get started right and really kind of get your head wrapped around meal planning and prepping. So go into that Fix8 cooking show. And even if you just don't even look at the recipes, please look at these foundational videos. They are awesome. Okay, so that's enough with Beachbody On Demand. There's tons of stuff that you can look on there. You can also head to teambeachbody.com, that website, which of course is not going to take me there now, but I'm not even going to go there. There's tons of information because you guys are all club members. If you just log into teambeachbody.com, there's a tab that says Eating Right, and there's tons of great recipes there. There's a meal planning tool there. It's really, really awesome, but it is still not my favorite place to go for recipes. My favorite absolute place to go for 21 Day Fix recipes is the Beachbody blog. And there are the most amazing recipes on this blog. Like everything is on here. If you want Shakeology recipes, like look how to make homemade Easter egg dye, like who does that? Does anyone do that here? Oh my God, you're my hero if you do homemade Easter egg dye. Wow. But everything, just go to this. If you want like inspiration for food, all the container counts are here. There's great articles here, even just about wellness and weight loss and different meal plan examples. There's tons of meal plans. Actually, one of my challengers, I don't think she's on the call, but she messaged me last night and she just moved in with her boyfriend and she's trying to stick to her goals. She's been doing really, really well. She went on here and found a 21 Day Fix couples only meal plan. So she's just literally printed it off and using exactly that meal plan. So there's so much information on the Beachbody blog. Write that down and head there. The other place is Pinterest. It's great as well, but this is my go-to if I want to find some different recipes, different meal plans, and just great information. And I think that I'm going to stop my share here. And it looks like there's a couple questions in the chat. Just made balsamic chicken. It's amazing. I did homemade eggs. Oh, of course you did, Carrie. Homemade eggs. Oh, good for you. I think that's it for me. If anyone has any questions, you can pop on. And then I think Megan's going to take over and talk to us about some dining out tips, which I know is always something that we're always worried about. No questions? Okay, Megan, take it away.
Okay, so I will be honest, because I always had sort of the mindset that if I was going to a restaurant, or even if something was coming up like Easter or Christmas, that I couldn't stay on track, that it wasn't possible to stay on track. Like if you're going to a restaurant, you're going to overeat and you are going to make bad choices. That was just ingrained in me. So it never really occurred to me that you actually could go to a restaurant and stick to your goals. It just, to me, it wasn't possible, but it actually is. And the most important thing that you have to figure out is you have to make a decision. It all comes down to a decision. And are you going to stay on track, or are you not going to stay on track? And it's all it is a decision. And the first time I made that decision to stay on track, I realized how actually easy it was and how like amazing I felt after doing that. So all it is a decision that you have to make, but you have to plan. That is such a key thing to all of this. If you are going to stay on track, you can't just wing it, or you can't just assume that you will stay on track. If you're planning on going out to eat this weekend, let's say, you need to plan ahead. And I'm talking like days ahead. You need to start thinking about it now. If you are going out to a restaurant on Saturday night, for instance, you got to start thinking about it now. You need to figure out where you're going and look up the restaurant online. Take a look at the menu. Everything is online nowadays. So start figuring out now what you're going to order, not when you get to the restaurant, because if you do that, you're going to make a bad choice for sure. So another thing that you need to plan is that day. What is your eating going to look like on that day? Don't save all your containers and all your calories for that one meal out. You need to sort of fuel your body the way you would on a normal day, because if you go into that restaurant feeling starving, which like I've done that before, I'm sure we all have done that. I mean, you're definitely going to make a poor choice. Even if you had in your head that you're going to make a good choice, you will make a poor choice because you're starving. So you need to stick to healthy, balanced eating throughout the day. and plan out your container. So that's when you really got to get out pen and paper and start writing down, what are you going to eat that day? So figure out what you're going to order at the restaurant. And I'll let Michelle kind of go into a little bit more detail about like how to sort of specifically ask for what you want, because she's very good at that. But even picking something like a lean piece of meat and veggies on the side, and like skip the potato, right? Like skip that carb side. For me, I'm not a potato fan, so that would be very easy for me, but just get extra veggies on the side. So what you need to do then is backtrack. If that's what you're going to have for your dinner, you need to backtrack and make sure you're getting in the rest of your containers earlier on in the day. Okay, don't save them all. Have your Shakeology on your way to the restaurant, or maybe an hour before the restaurant. That's what I always do, is I sort of change when I'm going to have my shake depending on, my plans for that evening. So having that shake en route to the restaurant, or, around, like if you have reservations for 7:30 dinner, have your shake at like 6 p.m. Otherwise, supper's going to roll around. And I know for us, we eat very early in the evening, like 5:30. So if I were to not have dinner at 5:30 or 6, I'm going to be starving. So I would move my shake to that time of day. So plan out when you're going to have your Shakeology. And if that means having an extra shake that day, I think that is totally worth it. If it means going over one red container, do it. Have a shake earlier in the day if you need it, and have one again before you go out for dinner. It will, if it saves you from ordering a greasy appetizer or an extra cocktail, it's worth it for sure. Skip the appetizer. Like, we don't need an appetizer. We don't normally have appetizers and then a big meal and then dessert. We don't normally do that. So for whatever reason, we think when we go to a restaurant, we need to have the bread or the garlic bread, and then we need to order spring rolls, and then we need to have a big meal, and then, we should have dessert, and we should have some drinks too after dinner. Like, we have to get out of that mindset, because we don't need to do that. And I can sometimes very easily get feel the pressure from what everyone else is doing. If I'm going out for dinner with a large group of people, I sort of, I used to, would follow their lead. If they are all having drinks and ordering pizza or ordering unhealthy foods, well, then I'll do that too. But if I'm going out to eat with people who are like really eating healthy and getting like grilled chicken and veggies, well, then I'm going to do that too and have my water. But it's so important that you don't feel pressured to make bad choices just because others are. If everyone else is ordering an appetizer, you don't have to. And if you feel like you really do have to, go for something like a shrimp cocktail, right? Like that's a better choice, or just a garden salad. So if you're feeling the need to be eating something while other people are eating, really choose very wisely. Most appetizers are not healthy at all. Or just share one with someone, or have a little bite of someone's. You don't need to order something for yourself. As far as dessert, that's got to be another decision that you make. This is a hard one for me because I am such a sucker for sweets. And for me, I might just decide to have the dessert, and that's just me. But that depends on where I'm at in my journey. If I have just started out on this, I probably am going to skip the dessert and it's going to kill me. But if I'm maybe more in like maintaining mode, I might have the dessert, but maybe I'll like do an extra workout that day, or I'm going to save up all my yellow containers to compensate and save my blue container. So you have to make the decision again, right? Everything comes down to the decision and how badly you want this. Same goes with alcohol. If you can not have a drink with your dinner, you're probably better off just skipping the alcohol completely, because of course one drink sort of leads to two drinks, and then two drinks leads to chicken wings and pizza and really bad choices later on. So if you can just skip the alcohol altogether, you probably are going to have a higher chance of succeeding. I'm fine with drinking something like Perrier water and some lemon. To me, that feels like I'm having a drink. And as long as I feel like I'm having a drink and being social, I'm okay with not having any alcohol. I would rather have the dessert personally. So I would skip the alcohol, no problem. If you can stick to your goals when you get to a restaurant and you walk out of that restaurant knowing that you did it, it is the best feeling. Like, I remember the very first time I did it, and it was just like, I felt so empowered and I felt so proud of myself that I actually did it. I went to a restaurant, I did not blow it, and I watched other people, just eating things that were not doing anything for them. And they, of course, were sitting at the table like, oh, why did I eat so much? And they're feeling like garbage walking out of the restaurant. And I felt so good. And I was just so proud of myself. And once you do that once and you get that feeling one time, it's so much easier to do it again a second time, because there's just no other feeling like it. And then the next morning when you wake up, you will feel, again, so proud of yourself and so motivated to keep on going. Because more than the calories that you might consume, it's what happens to your mindset. When you go into that restaurant and you blow it, even if you had all intentions not to blow it, it's the damage is what it does to your mind, not necessarily the calories, because you are going to then, let's say you went out Saturday night, Sunday morning, you're probably going to wake up and think, oh, I knew I couldn't do it. I'm day 6 into my journey and I already failed. I knew I couldn't do this. I couldn't stick with it. And then you'll probably have a crummy day on Sunday because, everybody likes to start again on Monday. So you'll just say, well, screw it today. It's Sunday. And then Monday morning, you'll decide, okay, so today's day 8. I'll start again today. This will be my day 1. And then you sort of go through it again. So it's what it does to your mindset. So making that decision and just sticking to it is so, so important. If you're someone who that will like sabotage you, it would sabotage me, and it has many, many times. So I am sort of giving you my experience, and I know what it's done for me in the past. And I'm certain that it probably does that to like 80% of people. Michelle, do you have anything to add?
I have a couple things to add. That man's nose that was just coming down on the camera, Jana. That was very funny. Oh, God. Yes, I have lots to add. So everyone hates going out for dinner with me because I'm like the mouthy person that drives the waitresses and waiters crazy. But I have been, like Megan said, it's a decision that you have to make. And the first decision you have to make is, what are your goals? Like, what do you want out of this? And there's nothing right or wrong. Like, we're not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. I have been many different places. I've been like so focused, like not even one little morsel of bad thing would get into my body. And I've also been, laid back in maintenance mode, having nachos. So, and my mom is being a real pill behind this screen, and she's shaking her head and totally disagreeing with me. She's making me lose my focus here. Anyways, you have to make that decision first, right? Like, you have to decide what you want out of this. So I'm here to help you sort of on whatever path. If you are literally like in your first 21 days and your goal is to honestly like get this weight off, you need to be serious. One night out can derail you. It absolutely can. And I've done it so many times that I can tell that this is what I know for certain. It doesn't matter that you've worked out all day. It doesn't matter that you did a double workout. It will derail you. Those extra calories will. Like Megan said, most of all, it'll derail your mindset, but it will add calories. It will add water, bloat. It'll just do a whole bunch of stuff that is not worth it. So my advice, if you are totally committed to this and it's your first 21 days, just stick to the frickin' program as it's written. Do not try and make your own rules. Like, it drives me crazy when people try and rewrite it. Like that's like, I didn't write it. Autumn did. And like nutritionists, it's like scientific, and it will work if you work it properly. So if you really want to lose some weight in these first 21 days, just follow the program. It's really quite easy. If you want to have a glass of wine or a piece of chocolate on the weekends, awesome. We show you how to do that. You can absolutely do that and still lose some weight in these 21 days. But you can't have like a whole chocolate bar and a whole couple bottles of wine. That's not how it's written. You can't save all your yellows for wine and chocolate. That's not how it's written. You need to have healthy carbs every day, and you can save like a couple yellow containers for some wine. So just read your program, read that book. If you're confused, reach out to your coach and we'll help you deal with the program as it's written. Some tips when you get to a restaurant. Every single restaurant on this planet has healthy choices. You just have to ask for them. You have to be big enough to ask for them. So here's what I do. When the waiter comes over to the table, I have a nice big smile on my face and I say, I am going to be your most irritating customer tonight. I am sorry. So I just start it like that. And then I ask him for a salad with chicken. Could you put my dressing on the side? Keep your candied walnuts and your candied dried fruit. I don't really want those. You can keep them for the next person. I just would love lots of vegetables, lots of lettuce, my dressing on the side, some chicken, and would you mind, I really do want some of that feta cheese, but could you just put it in a little dish so I can put it on myself? And you know what they always say to me? You're not a pain at all. That's nothing. Like, they're used to this. Restaurants are so used to people having allergies. You asking for chicken on some lettuce is really not a big deal. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You can always get a piece of protein and some steamed vegetables. You know how I know that? They always have gross steamed vegetables for kids. So I know they have a big pot of gross steamed vegetables in the back. So if you are too scared to ask for anything more than that, go for it. Grab some hot sauce, get some steamed vegetables and a piece of chicken and do it. Like, just do it. No, it's probably not going to be the most exciting meal of your life, but you know what? It's only 21 days. This is not the rest of your life. You're going to be able to have nachos again. You're going to be able to have whatever you want. But if you've decided to do this, do it. Do it right. And like Megan said, you will feel so amazing. I remember so clearly the first time I didn't completely bust up my Saturday night, because I was a self-saboteur. I was clean, squeaky clean all week. I would exercise my little heart out. I would do everything perfectly. And then Saturday, I would get home at 4:00 and I would binge eat and drink until I crashed. And you know what happened? Every Sunday morning, I would jump on the scale and I would have gained 6 to 7 to 8 pounds. And it took me all week to get that off. It took me all week to feel better about myself again. And it took me all week to get all that shit out of my body. And it was this continuous cycle that continued for years. I can remember to this day, the first Sunday morning I woke up and I didn't do that to myself, that I actually stuck to the plan. And I felt so empowered. It was like my confidence level changed just in that one moment in time. You can do it. You just have to decide. Now, if you want to be a little less like you want to be more lenient on yourself, then go for it. That's okay. We can't make those decisions for you. All we can do is help you through and help you decide, help you make whatever choices you can make. But that's what I do when I go to a restaurant. I start out like that. Oftentimes, if I'm going to a really like a finer dining restaurant, they're going to have beef tenderloin. They are going to have no trouble steaming up some vegetables for me or tossing them with a little bit of olive oil. Like, I have no trouble asking. Stay away from fried and like in these crazy sauces. Like, keep it simple. I talk about this with my challengers all the time. Like, keep it as simple as possible. Like, sweet potato, vegetables, chicken. Like, don't worry about getting the like casserole-y stuff yet, because it just makes it way too confusing. If you're going to a restaurant, just keep it simple. They can do simple. You're not really putting them, like, all restaurants have chicken or beef. Get chicken or beef and some vegetables. If, like, just ask. You just have to have the confidence to ask. And there's no reason why you have to go off plan at all. Even if you have that kind of sweet tooth at the end, well, ask for some fresh berries. They always put berries on the side of their cheesy cakes or whatever you guys eat. I'm not a sweet person, so that I would rather have 5 glasses of wine. So that's my problem. I have to try and stop at 1. So it's never the desserts for me. But if you need something sweet, well, take a bite of your husband's or get some fruit or whatever. But you just have to ask. They have all this stuff and they're so used to accommodating different things now. It's not a big deal. You're not going to be the first person that asks for chicken on a salad. Trust me. So you just have to have the confidence to ask. And sometimes that's putting a brave face on in front of your friends or in front of your family. Believe me, I have a brother that still sits beside me at every single restaurant. And he's, oh, are you going to get the chicken wings, Michelle? Like, it's all this big joke. And you know what? Who's going to be laughing in about 15 years? Really? Like, let's think about it. Who's going to be the healthy one? So I always think I'm empowering everyone that's at the table, that I'm making healthy choices and maybe someday they'll follow suit. That's really how I think about it. I can only worry about myself and my family. And that's all I worry about now. I don't think about what anyone else thinks. It's just not worth it. I don't know if you guys have any questions. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I hope that helps when you go out. Obviously, looking at those menus online before you go and planning is the key. You 100% have to plan that. I never go in like not knowing what I will order, ever. And I have called before. Like, I am actually, if I am on point, I am on point. I will call the restaurant, and if I can't find their menu online, I'll call and see and make sure that I'll be able to get something healthy. I like, that's when I'm like really on point. Like, if you're being a little bit more lenient, I would just know that I would go in mind that I would probably have vegetables and chicken, and I would be okay asking for that. You guys probably all think I'm crazy, but that is what I do to stay on track. It's just not worth it for me. If I'm going to like treat myself, like, I have things that I would treat myself with, and that would be like Lay's potato chips and a bottle of wine. Like, if I'm going to treat myself, it's at my parents' bar by the pool in the summer, and we have like chips and wine, and we do that all night. Like, that would be something that I would want to actually do and have fun with my family. Going out on a Saturday night, having like some chef's special with all this sauce on it and stuff, that's just not worth it for me. So I would way rather, ask for what I want specifically, so I can do the really fun thing, the things that are important to me at another time. And I really do. I have my family long weekends are huge. So I know long weekends is when I get off track, and I allow myself that. It's like my plan it's almost like I plan that for the year. Those are my times that I will get off track, and I'm good with it. I prepare for it. I'm ready for it. And I don't feel guilty about it because it's planned. The rest of the stuff isn't as important to me. And that's worked really well for me the last 3 years. And I've stayed at a very healthy weight. It's the first time I've never yo-yoed, up 10, down 5, up 15, down. Like, I finally feel like I got off that yo-yo. And this is one of the big changes that I made. And it's really just the confidence to ask for what you want and ask for what you need. And that's takes us all back to really what we talk a lot about in our challenge groups. And that's getting your mindset. It's all about a mindset change to make this a lifestyle change.
And I think, like, even just, we put so much emphasis on like the foods we're eating, and like we feel like we need to have those bad foods, and like it's become so important to us, and our world revolves around our food, which is good, but it can also be bad. So like if something like going out to eat and all you're thinking about is like, oh, but I want the bad stuff, I want all that stuff, like it's just food. And you know, whatever you put into your body, you're going to fill yourself up, whether that's grilled chicken and roasted veggies or it's a burger and poutine. You know, like you're going to fill your tummy, you're going to stop eating at some point. Like, is it so important that you have that really bad choice? Like, it's just sort of flipping your head a little bit, and just like, it's just food. You know, we have to sort of start thinking that way. Like, I'm going to be okay if I don't have the cheesecake. Like, I'll be okay if I don't have the cheesecake on Saturday night, and just sort of switching it. And I don't know if that even makes sense, but again, it comes down to the mindset, and just not placing such a huge emphasis on those foods, I guess.
That makes a lot of, I feel like we do, our whole society, right? Everything's around food all the time. And it's hard to get away from it because not everybody's making the same changes as you are, but you're the one that has to sort of, that's where it comes down to that mindset thing. Marianne, sugarless candy. Oh God, I'm the wrong one to ask because it is a big downfall of mine. But what I can tell you is what I know for fact. Sugarless candy only encourages you to want more sugar. In fact, it's been proven that the stuff in sugarless candy can actually make you gain weight. So it's not a great idea at all. However, I am not saying I don't do it. Like, I chew a lot of gum and it's all really, really bad. But I know that I can go all day and not have anything like that. And the minute I put like a piece of juicy fruit in my mouth, I will want more of it. So I know when they say it triggers you to want that sugar, that rush, it's true. It's probably worse than actually eating sugar. And we all know how bad sugar is. So it's terrible, but I'm not really the one to be preaching that very well because I have juicy fruit right beside me right now. So I know lots of people do, right? But I do. I'm sure someone's going to say, get the pure gum that doesn't have any apples. It doesn't have any aspartame in it, and I have that too. But I eat packages of that. Like, I mean, I know why you're asking about that, but I think it's true when they say the proven fact is that it just makes you want it more. If you can just not have it at all, you're way better off. Yeah, better than filling a cabinet full. And the fact of the matter is it still has calories, right? Like all those sugar-free candies, maybe they don't have sugar in them, but they still, like, I've had those, what are they? Russell Stover has a whole line of sugar-free candies, and you think you're getting like this piece of chocolate that tastes like shit, but you know, it's a piece of caramel cluster, whatever, and it still has 35 calories in it. So what are you saving? You might as well actually just go have a piece of dark chocolate, because the dark chocolate is probably it's going to satisfy you way more than that sugar-free thing. And it's going to be the same calories, maybe less. So that would be my professional recommendation. Don't do it. I'm going to try and see. Shannon, it seems to help you. That's good, because for me, it doesn't. It just makes me want more. Like, I could probably go through 10 packs of gum a day if I let myself, because I just want more and more sugar. So that's good. If you can stop at one piece, then you're good. You're good. What about apple cider vinegar? Everyone says it's great. Oh, I wish my mom hadn't gone to bed, April, because my mom drinks that every morning. I have no idea, but I have read that before. So Megan, do you know anything about that?
It's like a good like detox. That's kind of all I know about it. I've never done it. But isn't it for like detoxing your insides. And
like lemon water, same idea.
Yeah.
Acidity.
I don't know. My mom actually drinks it every morning. I saw her choke it down this morning. I'm living with my mom right now, so I'm learning all her tricks. I'll ask her, April, and I'll get back to you.
yeah, there's lots of health benefits to it for sure.
Yeah. Oh, Meg says she swears by it. It's super good for you. Meg, why? Can you tell us? Maybe she's muted. Hello. Maybe not. Well, we'll figure it out, April, and we'll get back to you on that. I'm not really sure, to be honest, about it, but I know lots of people do. Lots of people have that. Anyways, guys, any more questions before we let you go? I hope that was helpful. I hope everyone can be going out for dinner and not feeling like they have to put themselves on lockdown. Oh, Meg can't unmute herself. She'll message me why, and then we'll let you know. Okay, guys, thanks so much for coming on tonight, and we will have a call next Monday. We're going to do them every Monday night at 9. And next week, what do we talk about? I can't remember.
Next week's Shakeology.
Yeah, we'll talk about Shakeology and give you all the goods on that great stuff. Okay, good night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.